day that will be remembered for the passing of Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini. Passing away overnight. We have two reporters in KwaZulu-Natal for you this afternoon. Bonga Dlulane is at the KwaZulu-Natal government briefing in eThekwini. Our Karinda Jagmohan is in KwaNongoma. Bonga, good afternoon to you. If I'm going to start with you first, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala, he's been giving a briefing this afternoon. How do you summarize his reaction to the passing?
Well, Stephen, I think the biggest thing to take away from that is that government says that they're in mourning, their nation in mourning, not only a province, because the King Zwelithini was such a player in not only the political but also the social cohesion of this province in South Africa. I think the most important things, one of the most important things that came out is that they've now requested to President Cyril Ramaphosa to declare a state funeral for the late king, and that they're also saying that on Thursday next week they'll be making sure that they set aside as a day for remembrance, and also flags will be found half-mast, and that government operations will now cease, big ones, except for those ones that have to deal with service delivery, Stephen, but also the Premier making sure to entail that they are not in a position as the provincial government to give us any update on his health. So that's something that the royal family will do. They want to respect the royal family's right to close or not, whether or not what caused the king to pass away. But for now, they're just giving us the logistical situation as to what's going to happen now from his passing that happened today, 8 hours of this morning. And they're saying that now President Cyril Ramaphosa's request will be made so that the king could be given a state funeral, and also giving us the information that as government they support, and he's been a critical figure not only for this province, particularly though when it comes to the violence, because when he ascended to the throne there was a bit of instability, infighting between ANC and IFP, and that he played a crucial role in bringing those two sides to talking to each other. And that also what is remembered by his most significant contribution is that he was a man who respected culture. He was a man also when this province was in fighting amongst each other about political issues. He was the one who came in and ensured that government is working with traditional leaders in any way that they needed, in any situation that required their attention, both sides. So that they say that his leadership, also Stephen, was not confrontational. It was leadership that was about making sure that the working partnership was done between the traditional leaders and also the government of this province. So you have a very somber mood here, as expected, because he is a king of his subjects in the Zulu nation. So they're basically saying that for now they're in mourning, and that the premier will be, the next week will be done to ensure whatever happens is done between communication between the premier's office, the president's office, and the royal family. And that's basically to give us a history of what the king will be remembered by. But the Premier, Sihle Zikalala, saying that they'll give us information as it comes, the date of the funerals, the remembrance, the memorial service that should be happening. But he was very clear also that because of COVID-19, they want to stick to strict COVID-19 regulations so that we don't find ourselves having a third wave, because he's such a huge, magnanimous personality, someone who's respected across the province. A lot of people might want to go to his funeral, but whatever needs to be done, it will be done in accordance to COVID-19 regulations and limitations, particularly when it comes to funerals and gatherings.
Bonga Dlulane, thanks very much indeed. Live from eThekwini, we move to Nongoma now, where our reporter Karinda Jagmohan is. Karinda, good afternoon to you. I imagine a very, very somber mood there this afternoon.
Indeed, good afternoon to you, Stephen. Over the past few hours of the day, we've seen various people come here to one of the royal palaces in KwaNongoma to offer their condolences to the royal household. And just earlier, there was a group of rather family members that were sitting just outside the gates of the royal palace and, you know, really discussing with each other the life of the Zulu King. We saw prayers happening. We saw, you know, very solemn conversations, as well as some light laughter as they share their memories of the Zulu King. And that's what the atmosphere has been like here in KwaNongoma. We do expect the mortal remains of the king to arrive here. We understand that royal family members or family members of the royal household have gone to the hospital in Durban where the king had passed away. And we do know that various rituals and cultural practices have to be undertaken before his remains are brought here to his birthplace in KwaNongoma. He leaves behind, Stephen, 6 wives and 28 children, we understand. And at this point, funeral arrangements are yet to be confirmed by way of the family or the traditional prime minister of the Zulu monarch, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. We understand he will be the one to accompany the remains of the king here to KwaNongoma, and that should take place later today. We do understand that the body will lie in state at the Royal Palace as the nation continues to mourn the king's passing. But going forward as well, we just heard the KwaZulu-Natal Premier say that they've called on the president to have a state official funeral for the king, and we do expect this to happen. After all, he was a father figure to the nation, and we do understand that tomorrow there will be more visits here to the royal household, specifically the KwaZulu-Natal Premier, and we can expect other high official delegates coming here to offer their condolences to the royal family.
Karinda Jagmohan, live from Nongoma this afternoon. Thanks very much indeed. Do appreciate that live update. Bonga Dlulane you saw in eThekwini at that KwaZulu-Natal provincial government briefing as well. Our reporters on standby there and around the country.